Welcome to Getting Your Sheets Together. My name is Bryce, and I want to help you take control of your finances one sheet at a time. If you're a corporate warrior and you file as a W-2 employee, you're in the right place. You've likely clicked the instructions tab of the W-2 warrior and decided, I'm not reading that essay. I understand, and it's why I made this video. Now, I won't cover all the details the sheet has to offer. I'll hit the highlights so you can get rolling. Quick disclaimer, I am not a CPA. I am not a financial advisor, and I'm definitely not here to do your taxes. So please, before you make those big decisions, consult with the pros. Okay, let's jump into it. Follow along in your sheet as I go through this and pause as needed. We'll start here in the Personal Budget Setup tab. Yes, this is gonna look like a lot at first, but here's the secret to keeping this super simple. If the text is in blue or red, you can edit it. If not, don't worry about it. There's formulas working behind the scenes doing the work for you, so just focus on those blue inputs. This page sets the framework for the entire workbook. Name your budget, select your state, your filing status, and your deduction method. For example, I'm going to pick a single filer in Hawaii taking the standard deduction. Then add your projected 2025 income. See what it's like to make $100,000 or $200,000. Maybe play around with $2 million. We'll stick with $200,000 for now, and already you can see your projected taxes below start to calculate based on your income. Play around and see how your income affects your taxes. If it applies to you, add any health insurance premiums you pay, any pre-tax retirement contributions that you make, like a 401k, a 403b, a traditional IRA, or if you make any HSA contributions. You can even add non-taxable incomes like birthday cash if you have parents that love you and send you money. In seconds, you'll see your projected net income, the real number you can use to spend or save. Notice how the sheet is entirely dynamic. Changing your state changes your tax brackets. Changing your pre-tax retirement contributions changes your taxable income and ultimately your net income. Again, the sheet is doing all of the work for you. Next is customizing the structure of your budget. Columns K through N will give you the ability to create your own expense categories and set how much you think you'll spend in that category on a monthly or yearly basis. If you want to create a category header, select Yes in column L. Then, all expense items underneath that category header that have a No in column L will get summed up into the next Yes. For example, I'll switch food to Yes, so it becomes its own header. Everything below food, which is my budget of $500 a month each for groceries and restaurants, is summed up into food for an annual budget of $12,000. Mess around with different income and expense scenarios until you find something that you can stick to. Remember that this net line at the bottom of the budget will be how much is in your bank account if you follow your set plan. It's money left over that you didn't invest, spend, or save. That's about 90% of creating your dream budget. The last 10% is for special cases only, and only a handful of you will really need to use this. That takes place on columns U through W. This section breaks down how you'll arrive at your federal and state taxable income. In this process, student loan interest or income through tips and overtime is deducted. So if that applies to you and you qualify, enter those deductions here and here at the federal level and here at the state. For those who itemize, instead of taking the standard deduction, enter those amounts here and here. Most of you will take the standard deduction. So really this is extra optionality and most of you can ignore this. Lastly, columns P through S show how your federal and state income is being taxed at each bracket, and that breakdown is shown here and flows through the budget here. Once you're done with all of your inputs, it's time to read your budget. It's going to start with your income, subtract any taxes and contributions, leaving you with net income. Then it subtracts out all personal expenses, leaving you with the net increase to your cash net worth, or as I like to say, the increase to your bank account. Make sure to play around and try different scenarios. If you're trying to increase your cash, try and keep this net line high. If you're trying to increase your investments, then try and get this net line to 0. That's it for this page. Now that we're done with all that, it's time for the easy stuff, tracking your income and expenses. We'll start with income. Your employer should hopefully list all these next sections on your paycheck information. If not, you should request these details every paycheck. Here on column B, you'll enter the date you received your check or your wired money. It's currently preset for bi-weekly, but you can change the frequency or enter your own dates manually. In column F, you'll enter your gross income. This is before any contributions or premiums that you pay. This is your gross salary. Next is your employer-sponsored pre-tax retirement contributions, which will adjust with what you select on the Setup tab. Then your health insurance premiums, FICA, state and local taxes. And lastly, your federal and state withholding. Say I take home $2,500 bi-weekly in gross income. I contribute 4% to my 401k, and I make $50 health insurance premiums. Social Security is going to take $190, Medicare $27, and Hawaii temporary disability takes another $12. Uncle Sam withholds $450 federally, and Hawaii takes another $200. This leaves me with just about $1,500 every 2 weeks to spend or save. To see how this flows to the model, check your personal monthly actuals tab. Notice how the $2,500 in income will show for that month, and the associated contributions and withheld taxes will also appear as you enter them. The only bit of work that you'll need to do on this page is enter any pre-tax retirement contributions or HSA payments that you make outside of your employer, also any gifts if that applies to you. Next are your expenses. Select your month, create the name of the expense, then select the dropdown, and you'll have the list of subcategories that you made to choose from. Here, I'll choose rent for $1,800, and you'll see it appear on my personal monthly expenses. Now, a little hack is that you can download your credit card statement into Excel, and from there you can paste all of your values and descriptions right into the sheet. Then, all you have to do is select the corresponding bucket that you made. This is a quick and easy way to get information right into your sheet, but it's still going to make you work through each expense, so it's going to hold you accountable. After adding income and expenses, I'll venture to my personal monthly actuals. Here, I'll see the $2,500 in income, all my contributions, my taxes, my personal expenses, and ultimately my net income on the month. Also note that if you see any of these red boxes on this monthly tab, it's because you're not capturing your expenses correctly. Typically, it's because you haven't labeled something or the category that you created no longer exists because you deleted it out of your budget setup tab. Now you're completely done and you get to marvel at your masterpiece. You can take a deeper dive into your monthly income and expenses. If you want to compare months not directly next to each other, you can hide months with these buttons on the top banner. You can now go to your annual roll-up tab in black. This tab is going to add up all of your months into the one single year. It's going to compare the budget that you made versus what you're actually doing so far this year. This will give you the bigger picture so you can revise your budget or revise your habits as needed. This Delta to Budget section will show you the remaining dollars that you need to either make or have left to spend on the year. So I set out to make $200,000, and since I've only made $2,500, I still need to make another $197,500. On the expense side, my budget was to only spend $19,800, and since I've spent $1,800 on rent, I now only have $18,000 left to spend. Looking at your delta to budget on the tax section might give you some insight into what your federal or state return might look like at the end of the year. If your income was being withheld by too much, then you might see a refund. But if your contributions were not enough, you might see a tax bill. For even further forensics, you can compare quarters to see your progress and trends. As you go through the year, continue to revise your plan as you receive real-time feedback on your spending habits and your savings goals. Okay, that's it for the W-2 Warrior. If you have any questions, please refer to that instructions tab for more information. Good luck in getting your sheets together. I'm rooting for you.